Hi. Hi.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you for accepting my invitation and accepting to be on my show.
Absolutely happy to. You do a great thing. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. So I thought to introduce you to my audience.
Okay, great.
So can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes, my name is James Bass, and I am a photographer.
Professional photographer.
I'm a professional photographer.
Wow. So you're from?
I'm from North Carolina, the United States.
Okay. So from when you are into photography?
I've been doing photography for about 25 years. I started using film, and most of what I shoot are models and music. So I enjoy shooting rock bands and musicians. And I like shooting models, and so that's what I've been doing. I've been published. I've done some work for movies, books, magazines, newspapers, and some work for some bands and social media. So it's been a lot of fun.
So you are into this for how many years?
How many years? About at least 25.
25 years. I'm sure you know how to capture things uh, in the world.
Well, there's a way of doing things, and I think every photographer sees life in a different way. But I think most photographers have learned to see the world through a lens, if you will, and they see things much different ways. And so I think I actually teach photojournalism also for a university, and so I teach students how to see differently. And I think that is one of the most important things that we do as photographers is we see things differently and we capture moments in time.
So what is the best thing that you captured?
The best thing that I've captured.
Yeah.
There's so many things. So many famous musicians and great musicians, very talented people and very photogenic people, friends. So I worked with a band recently who have been friends since we were maybe teenagers. And so that was a lot of fun because I got to work with my friends and I've known them for a long time. So it was a lot of fun to do that.
So have you ever felt that this is a tough job?
For a full time job. That's an interesting question. I don't know that I would do it for a full time job because it's just so competitive now, and there's so many demands from the market that as a photographer, I work professionally as a performing arts presenter. So I run a theater, but I do this because, as I tell some people, it's like my golf. It's what I do at the end of the day. It's the art that I create, and it's what I enjoy doing. So I really don't care if I make a lot of money doing it. I enjoy it. It's part of my life.
So what are the cameras that you use?
I enjoy using Nikon equipment, and so I work with a Nikon D500 and a Nikon D7100. Both are not they're not full frame cameras. Um, I just choose to work with them. I've been working with those cameras for a while, and they get me good results. And so I also use my iPhone sometimes. I've shot with Zoom and FaceTime, doing virtual photography. Last year during the pandemic, I did a lot of virtual photography with my phone. So I was able to work with people around the world, from Mumbai to England, and all over the United States, and that was a lot of fun to do during quarantine.
So different cameras have different jobs to do.
How many? I'm sorry.
Different cameras are used for different purposes.
Well, it's not so much the cameras as the lenses. And so you would use maybe like a prime lens, which is a smaller 35 millimeter or 50 millimeter lens for portraits, or you would use, zoom lenses for shooting sports or nature or doing photographs with lots of deep depth of field. So for me, at least, it's the lens, not so much the camera. The cameras can be higher in quality sometimes, more pixels or just a better quality image. But for me, I think the difference comes from different lenses that you use.
So you get feedback for every picture that you take. So uh, what you learn from the feedback?
Not a lot, really. I mean, it's nice when people comment and say it's a nice photo, or you've used great composition, or they give you some other information. But I tell you, the most I've ever learned from other photographers is just talking to them and asking them questions. And there's a great one named Dow Jones Photographer. He's out of, that's his handle on Instagram, Dow Jones Photographer. But he's from Australia, and he does amazing work. And I've spoken with him before, and he's given me great advice on how to shoot concerts better. And yeah, that's what I find more interesting is, when I actually talk to people.
So which view you like most?
I like a view like we're seeing now, head and shoulders. Those are I like doing head and shoulders type portraits. When I work with models and artists, I just enjoy faces. So that's usually the perspective I shoot from.
So you said you worked for movies and music also.
Yeah, I work for a performing arts center in the United States. So we have live theater and music, concerts, orchestras, symphonies, dance, all those types of things. So that's what I do during the day, and then I do my photography other times.
So what is the thing that a photographer need to put in his mind while shooting?
Take pictures every day. Take pictures all the time, and remember that the first 10,000 photographs you take are going to be your worst. So keep taking pictures and just learn from what you do. And I think for those people, you can learn from YouTube, you can learn from an instructor or a professor, you can learn from videos and tutorials. But I think the best way to learn is to just get a camera, learn how to use your camera, or learn how to use your camera phone, and go out and challenge yourself and take pictures every day. Maybe learn to shoot in black and white some days, or try different effects and different things, or different challenges. But I think that's the best way to learn, is to just do it every day.
Is that possible for you to capture things which are there in front of your eyes, like you capture with your eyes?
Absolutely. I don't actually do that every time I see something, but I tend to look at the world in the way I would look at a photograph, or the way that I would look through a lens. So sometimes I may be in a supermarket and I see some interesting item on a shelf, or on a magazine rack, and I'll take a picture of it, or I'll just see something interesting. For a while, I was taking pictures of COVID masks that I would find lying in the street, because I just think that's going to be an interesting point in our time when we look back and we see all these images of masks littering the street.
What is photo? Photo is just a collection of pixels, or
A photo?
yeah.
Photo actually means light. So, and nowadays things are different, because, we have digital photography. And so, some people still like to shoot with film, but a lot of people prefer using digital images because they can be manipulated and you can do all sorts of things with them. So I just think a lot of people are just doing that now.
So photo is everywhere. Is there anything that cannot be captured with the camera?
That cannot be captured with a camera? That is a very good question. I'm going to say no. I think you can capture anything with a camera. The pictures that you take are a matter of perspective sometimes. And the one thing I was thinking is, how could you photograph love? But you can photograph people kissing, or you can photograph people in an embrace, or people smiling, and that's one way to capture that emotion. So, that's one thing I enjoy doing when I'm taking a portrait of someone, is I tell them something funny to make them laugh, because when we laugh, we're the most ourselves that we're going to be. And I think it's good to capture people on a laugh.
As an IT guy, what I understood is the quality of the picture decreases with the time. Is that true?
It decreases with time.
Yeah.
That could be true. Um, Certainly with a digital image, the more you compress it, the more quality you lose. And certainly a piece of paper on a photograph over time is going to deteriorate. That's very interesting and very true.
And also
But
while too much transferring, the quality of the picture loses.
Yes. With digital images, the more you share it, the more quality it loses.
Okay.
But ironically, photographs capture moments in time. So in some ways, people are immortalized. They'll always live forever in a photograph.
What is the oldest picture that you saw?
The oldest picture that I saw,
Yeah.
hmm, probably something in a museum, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, that's probably the oldest picture I've ever seen, and I can't think of which one it is now, actually. But that's a good point.
When it took?
When was it taken?
Yeah.
I, I don't know. I can't even think of what picture it would be, actually. I've seen so many.
So as a photographer, I'm sure you do a lot of research on different cameras which are coming in the market.
Not really. I probably should, but I'm not in the market for a new camera. I'm enjoying the equipment I have, so I don't really look too far. For me, a camera is just a tool, and you can get a more expensive tool or a better tool, or you can just continue to learn and use the one that you have, which is where I am.
So the pictures that you took, what they are used for?
Some have been used recently. I did some work for a band, and they'll be used in a music video. Some will be used to promote their records. Um, I can show you here on my wall. Here are some of my photographs. Here's a band.
Wow.
This is a theatrical piece.
Wow. Great. Wow.
So they're used for all sorts of different things.
Okay. You sell images?
I'm sorry?
You sell images?
I couldn't understand the last part.
You sell your own images?
Oh, do I sell them? If there's an offer, I have sold some. I sometimes it depends. If I'm working with a band or a model or a friend or someone I'm trying to support, I'll usually do my work for free, just because I like to promote artists.
So videography is different from photography.
It is. Videography is very different. For some obvious reasons, but I think video is becoming more important now because people like small little snippets of time, if you will, and they like to see the images. So I think video is becoming more and more popular, but certainly you can extract still images from video.
So with your eyes, which color you like most?
Red.
Red.
Red
So
is my favorite. I
you love
love
to
red.
capture red more.
I do. And when I can put red in a photograph, it's beautiful.
So you capture animals?
Not much. Sometimes my own pets, but as a photographer, I've gone to zoos and I've taken pictures of animals there. But um, I've also done landscapes and other things. But I tend to focus on the things that I'm most familiar with, which are working with people like models and musicians and music.
So what is your what is a photo of yours which is very famous?
A photo of mine that's very famous.
Yeah.
Um, about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, I was asked to do. I was asked to shoot a wedding for a somewhat famous musician. He played with the guitar player Eric Clapton. He was his drum player for him, and I shot his wedding photograph, and it was in a famous newspaper for a long time, and on his website or on his Facebook page for a long time. So that's probably the most famous image that I've taken.
So who connects with your images? Who connects with your pictures? Only photographers who thinks very deeper, or the normal species also? Normal people also connects with your view.
Good question. I think photographers like to follow my account. They find my work interesting. A lot of models will follow my account because they've either wanted, they've asked to work with me, or they just follow me because they like my work. Um, and I'm not sure really who else. Sometimes some friends, but I think the others are just enthusiasts of music. Maybe they like a particular band or artist, or maybe they just think a model is pretty and they like to follow that model. So Different people follow for different things, I think.
So you work for only US or other country also?
No, just in the United States.
So if you get offer by seeing this video, somebody contact you, will you work for them?
That would be fantastic. I would love to. Yes, I hope they will.
So 25 years experience photographer is there here on our show.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. So how many pictures have you captured in your life?
Oh my gosh. Thousands. Thousands. I mean, just on my hard drives, I have hundreds of thousands of images. So I can't even count that high.
So, so what is the image that you want to capture and that you didn't capture and you're waiting for?
Oh, an image. I don't know. If you don't catch it the first time, you never get a chance again. You may get a
Okay.
chance to shoot that subject, but you'll never get to. People change too.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, let me take your photograph now because you'll never look the same way again.
Okay.
Even tomorrow, you'll look different. So I
Okay.
think, if you miss a chance to take a picture, you can't ever get that chance again. You can try, but it's not going to be the same.
You take random pictures?
Oh, yes, definitely. It's what captures my eye. If again, I've learned to see like I'm looking through a lens, but if I'm walking somewhere or if I'm in a store or someplace and I see something that looks interesting, maybe it's positioned in an interesting way or it's juxtaposed with something ironic, I'll stop and take a picture with my phone.
Do you have website of yours?
I don't have a website. No, I have my Instagram gallery and I have a Facebook page for my photography.
I'll put your Facebook and Instagram links in the description of this video. People who finds our video on YouTube, they'll contact you if they need your service.
That would be fantastic. Very cool.
So you do for all events.
It depends. It depends on what it is. I really I don't like to shoot babies. I don't like to photograph that kind of thing, So it depends on what it is, and if it's worth the time. Again, I don't do it for a living, so it's my art. So I choose to do it when I want to, and so it all depends.
So how much you charge?
It would depend on what the job was. If I don't charge an hourly rate, again, if it's something I'm interested in doing, I may charge one fee for it. If it's something I'm not interested in doing, I may charge more for it. I may not even accept the job at all.
So you work for models.
Yes. Hmm.
So who are the models that worked with you?
Well, there are different ones, and you can go to my Instagram gallery and see a lot of them. Some of them are not considered professional models. They're just very beautiful and they're very photogenic and they took great pictures. But I have worked with some famous people before, some semi-famous people. I've done portraits for, some B movie actors like Tiffany Shepis, Gunnar Hansen. If you ever saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that movie, I did a portrait sit down with the killer in the movie one time. So maybe some people that maybe don't know who he is.
So you love things which you love to capture things which are moving or which are stable.
Yeah, I love movies. I love pop culture. So
I mean, I
musicians.
mean, I mean, you love capturing things
Oh
which are
yeah,
moving or which are stable.
sure. Sometimes when you're shooting a concert and you're photographing musicians and there's a lot of energy and they're moving around a lot, it can be fun to shoot because you have to chase after them with your lens and
Yeah.
you have to make sure everything's in focus.
So how many pictures that you take in a event and how many will be very very good?
I might shoot on an average maybe 1,200 photographs, and I'm going to pull maybe 200 of those that I'll actually edit and out of that, maybe 60 to 100 that I think are really good pictures.
Okay. So you edit the pictures again.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. So what is the biggest event that you attended and did work for?
Probably a concert. Maybe in the 1990s, I used to do a lot of concert photography, and so um, probably a festival, maybe 20 or 30,000 people.
So there are a lot of photographers in the world. So what, as a photographer, what you observe
What
when
do
you
I
see their
observe?
pictures? When you see their pictures.
You know, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of photographers, and there are more and more every day. And again, that's why I think it's hard to be in a business as a photographer, because there are so many, and technology has made it so easy for people to be photographers and graphic designers and musicians and all sorts of other things. So I just don't think the market is there for people, for a lot of people, to make a living as a photographer. Some can. I'm not saying you can't do it. I just think it's a very competitive and tough environment to work in. But it can be done.
So so in the first year, the picture that you took is there with you still?
I have some of them, but
What do you
some are.
see if you put that with the 25th year picture?
Oh, you said, yeah, you can definitely see a difference. You just like anything else, if you do it over time, you get better at it. You learn more from it.
You capture emotions.
I love to. I love to capture emotion.
What
I think
emotion
it's
you like?
I like to see people smile and be happy. That's something I really like to capture. That's what I was saying earlier, that when I'm with a model, I'll try to get them to smile or laugh, tell them a joke, so I can get a natural smile, because I think that's probably at one time when they're the most themselves that they're going to be.
So pictures are the visual of the species, right? You without people are not seeing, they are seeing through your pictures. So you have to capture in such a way that they have to feel like this is real, this is in front of them.
Yes, you do. I think a photograph is a piece of art, and a person has to capture their attention. It has to draw them in and make them want to be interested in it and stay for a minute to look at it. And that's another thing I think now, because there's so many photographers. When I scroll through Instagram, I can literally look at hundreds and thousands of images in a day, but only a few of those are going to stick out to me and really capture my interest. And I think that's what you're going for. You're going for those pictures that are going to stop people for just a minute and make them think about something or feel something.
You do underwater photography?
Okay.
Underwater photography.
Oh, no, no, none.
Okay. So do you have any particular place where you want to visit and take the pictures?
India.
India.
Uh, I'd love to travel to India and take photographs. I did take some photographs in China and some in Paris, um, and Italy. I'd love to go to Italy.
Awesome. So movies you worked for?
There was a movie called Shake Off the World that came out in 2015, and I was the principal photographer for that. So I did a lot of still photography. I was also an actor in the movie. So
Wow.
I worked on doing that too, and I was working on a book at the same time with someone too. I was a chief photographer for a book at the same time.
You have books? You wrote books?
I don't have my own. That's something I'm thinking about doing this year, is maybe publishing my own photography book.
What is the name of it?
Oh, it's not out yet. But I think I'd like to do one this year. So, and it'll probably be a mixture of some of my model work and some of my concerts or musicians.
Okay. So as a person who captures things, what do you say about my visual?
About
How
your
I
vision,
look? Yeah.
you are very photogenic, and you've got a great personality too. That goes a long way.
Okay.
You've
So
got a
because
handsome,
yeah, sorry.
you have a handsome face.
Okay, so because I'm asking this because your eyes have seen a lot of visuals in your life because thousands of pictures you have captured. So I want to know. I'm curious how I look for your eyes.
I love a new adventure. And that's the thing I like about photographing people is when you meet new people, you make new adventures. When you learn something about those people, and especially if you capture a photograph of them, their personality, in their environment, in their home, or some place that they're comfortable, it immortalizes them, and for a time you've captured that person in the best way that you can. So, every time I meet someone or photograph someone new, it's a great adventure. So, looking at you through the camera, it's great because you have seen a lot of the world as well through your great interviews and all the interesting people that you met. I think that's such a beautiful thing. So, to see you in an image like this, and maybe even, you know what, I did a screenshot there so I can get your picture. So now I photographed you.
That's a big thing for me because the great person who is into this photography industry, capturing me, it's a honor for me.
It's an honor to do it.
So, what is the best compliment that you got?
The best what?
Best compliment that you got?
Wow. Um, Probably when someone I admired, a musician or a model, said, "Oh, I really, really love this photograph." That's all I need. That's a great compliment for me. That I feel like my job is done and I did it successfully.
Uh, you're capturing thousands of pictures, right? So, how many years it going to be if you save it in digital media?
Hmm. Oh, right now I have 4 hard drives that are full. Um, so I don't know, and maybe someday I put all of it in the cloud. I don't know where it all goes, but I'm very delicate about making sure that I take care of it and that I save all the images. And I have lost some images over the years, and it's sad. It makes you hurt when you lose them. They're like little children.
Yeah. Okay. So, how many years it is going to be? As per your knowledge.
Mm. There's still so much for me to learn. There's so much for me to learn, and so many more photographs to take. So who knows?
So, all these years you have seen changes in uh, the pictures. I mean, the quality of the pictures. All these
Yes.
25 years, the change year by year. So, what do you say about it?
Well, I think I'm more impressed with the medium that or the mediums that we can use to capture with, because as a photographer, I started out using film, and shooting with a camera where I had to load the film and learn how to process it and print it and develop it myself. And then I got my first digital camera and everything was so easy, but I could only take a few pictures. Now I can get an SD card that allows me to take literally thousands of pictures on that camera. So the capacity for, and last year when the quarantine happened and COVID took over the world, there was a while that I couldn't get out with my camera and take pictures the way I wanted to. So I learned how to use FaceTime to take pictures, and I learned how to use Zoom to take pictures. And even though I wasn't using a camera per se, I was still making photographs. And so it changed the way I thought about things, that to me, a camera is not so much important as, any other tool that I can make a photograph with. Many years ago, a camera was basically a, a box with a hole in it that allowed light to come through. And that was one of the earliest versions of a camera. Now we've got phones and we've got all these other gadgets and things that we can take pictures with. So for me, I think image quality has definitely gotten better with some of the more name brand technology. But most importantly is the fact that we have that technology now, and anyone can, with a phone, can take a photograph and take a really good photograph. I think phones take photographs that are far better than some cameras nowadays. So, it's not so much as the technology as how you utilize that technology.
So what is the small thing that you captured and what is the big thing that you captured?
Um, Literally a small thing. I've photographed bugs, and big things, I've gone up in a hot air balloon and shot a concert from, way up in the sky. So I don't know. Maybe those are my big things and little things.
So at last, can you tell my audience about the services that you provide so that that will be a small help for me?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Can you tell about the services that you provide so that my audience will know you and that will be a small help from me for you?
Tell them about, I'm sorry, I didn't understand the
About
last
your
part.
services, about the
Tell me
service that you provide.
about the services
Yeah.
that they provide. Um, Again, I take what I think are unique portraits of people. I don't like to take the usual photographs of people. I like to take them in different places and be creative. I think taking a portrait sometimes is a collaboration. So I like to work with people who have a vision and an image that they want to work with me on and help craft. So I think that's a unique service that I provide, is that when I do a portrait with someone, it's a collaboration with them.
So you're ready to get hired.
I'm ready.
Awesome. Awesome. So at last, have you seen any videos of mine as a person who captures things, who will see things very deeper and very keen? What do you say about my videos on my YouTube channel?
Well, again, I think they're fascinating mainly because of the diversity. You capture a wide range of different people. And I think that is probably what captures me most, is because I'm intrigued by the world. And I think what you're doing with your videos is making the world a much smaller place. Now we can easily access and learn from people who are from far away, and we can have them right at our fingertips.
So, so what is the so at last, do you have anything to say to the people who are watching this video from anywhere on this planet?
Um, I think what you're doing is great. I encourage them to live a full life and do interesting things, and never stop being challenged. I think that's one of the great things I like about your videos, is all these different people, and they've all done some really incredible things. So I tell everybody to keep challenging, keep doing new things, keep growing, keep developing, and thank you for bringing that to an audience so that people can meet these other people.
Thank you very much, sir. You are the first professional photographer on my show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. Where are you from? What country are you in?
I'm from India, South India.
Oh, so you need to invite me over then.
Yeah, you have to come and you have to capture some things, and you will get a lot of content here. There's very beautiful places. Whenever you come to South India, don't forget to put a message. Definitely, I will show you a good. I will tell you good places where you can get a great pictures.
And Indian food is my favorite.
Wow.
So maybe you can take me to the best places to eat.
Yeah, there are a lot of places. I will definitely take you if you come.
That sounds great. Well, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, can I put this video and audio clip on my YouTube channel, social media, internet, website, podcast, everywhere with your permission?
Yes, you may. Please do.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Keep going, keep doing what you love and make people smile.
Thank you. I appreciate the honor. You have a great evening.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.